could be significant because he is...
Sor Rungvisai.
After losing a very close career, Sor Rungvisai losses. Estrada's been waiting to prove that he's not.
When you look at the 4 losses on streets, this came in his first 2 professional fights. Hard left hand
To the fight, that Chocolatito may have been a shot fighter.
115 pounds was simply too big for Choc, and 112.
Good straight right from Estrada.
You can feel that it's an Estrada crowd.
Chocolatito made a statement. He's a
Good.
No nonsense, like you said, and he's going to make...
Takes the job very seriously.
As he should. Visai his credit. He's a veteran. He knows. I have to acknowledge what prepared physically, but also, so right now, he looks like he knows Sor Rungvisai is the more guy. He knows about the big has to do to negate the power.
Estrada has been outboxing Sor Rungvisai, start really cooking. If and when he starts cooking, how does Estrada react to those power?
Has just let us know that's 1 and 2, and this is interesting, Andre. Between rounds 1 and 2, Estrada said to the people in his corner,
this championship fight, you don't show you actually really feel.
And when he's scared in boxing, that
by Estrada. And another great right hand by Estrada. And the third.
Precision, Jim. Precision.
If you have any...
A very, very crafty fighter. It's our next week.
Francisco Estrada and the black with gold.
Now we're seeing Sor Rungvisai start to really unload.
Here are some interesting CompuBox statistics regarding Sor Rungvisai. In terms of
Body shots off tonight. Estrada's taking his bit. Leaving himself open for the big shots of Sor Rungvisai, even though he got hit with a few punches in range. He'll turn the left hook over.
Max, at this moment in this round, I'm not certain that I'm going to want to be Estrada.
I agree.
But the concern will always be there because it's mentioned.
Official ringside scorer, as always. How do you have the first 3?
Sor Rungvisai didn't get him as often. But Sor Rungvisai had a good round.
Agree with Harold, except I flipped the first.
Hey, this is the same as in the last fight. We've got a very close fight. Intelligent judges with great backgrounds could easily score the rounds differently, and there'll be a strong argument either way. So we mentioned that Estrada is doing things to make sure he's landing 3.5 body punches per round compared to 9-7 fights coming in. So that's a big change, going to have to adjust.
Sor Rungvisai's fighting like he knows he has power to change the fight in a moment. And he's been doing that all fight, I think. But Sor Rungvisai...
10 seconds to go in round number 4.
Big right hand.
Rungvisai comes on, lands a hard left hand, lands another hard left hand, and takes 1 shot from Estrada. But surely, a little quieter now.
With reckless abandon. And that's... Well, there he did.
That looked like a clean
Knockdown. Crowd doesn't like it. They would love for Estrada to get a knockdown point at some point.
This is devastating. It's like a home run hitter facing a fastball pitcher. The harder...
And you can tell that you can see Sor Rungvisai think like he's a straightforward all-power guy, but he is thinking.
He might get a free shot upstairs.
Takes that little half step back to counter, because if he extends himself...
Pay big money to have those characters.
Affected Estrada.
Actually, he's landing that because he's basic at the chest, center mass.
Even if you're taking a puncher's, another slip, taking a puncher's punches well, the problem is they're still draining you, whether they're to the head or to the body. They're going to feel them in the latter part of the fight. Good
Hard
straight
left
right.
hands by both fighters.
Absolutely.
Boy, there've been some real... Well, the power harder to get the same effect. He can counter...
And you begin to get the impression of their tactical answer. Another... Good right hand shot.
Very calmly thrown to the bottom. Estrada. Without looking for the...
If Estrada wants to have success against a puncher, you actually go to it, and you get mid-range and in close.
Ever since the move to the day before the fight, more than 30 years, they weighed in under 100 quality in the ring. Sor Rungvisai is a skilled boxing featherweight.
You mentioned Andre. he is very encouraging.
I use his right jab a lot. Estrada, with the art in the sport, everybody wants to be the two-fisted.
He just outboxed Estrada for about a 30-second stretch in the middle of the ring.
A little something different. Very difficult if you allow
into leading at times and actually being the counterpuncher. Sor Rungvisai. Here's Jim. Lawler learns the finer points of and Sor Rungvisai, the technique of a guy with this much power, becomes a very
left high. That's a picks up the jabs. And I don't want to say pick up because I don't think he's used it at all tonight. Those big shots, namely the left hand.
Andre, he hasn't committed any great sins that I can see, and yet he seems
I'm sure he's been buzzed several times.
paid attention when he had 3 losses at a bunt on Quadras. Controversial decision over Chocolatito. And then annihilate Estrada, his best punch in a while.
Estrada boxing more sharply this round. Andre, to your point, seems to be getting a little closer with the range.
And beating Sor Rungvisai to the punch. Trainer, you heard the big speech from the trainer between rounds. Estrada has paid attention. He wanted Estrada to taste the canvas.
Yeah, if you slip, it takes so much energy just to get your city. Yeah. The nuances of the fight.
He said, hey, go down.
Let me put you on pause.
Nevertheless, it's a very good round just in time.
Still is.
Getting closer.
Yes.
Still is. First round, he's
The ending shot at this range.
At
The risk he's going to have to take.
That's the
any moment. Stakes go up as Estrada decides try to win the fight.
Oh, big shot from Sor Rungvisai.
Puncher also has the advantage in terms of scoring. The judges don't give him the same kind of credit as when the punch once or twice, even if he's been out punched.
And you look at him and you hit him.
That's what Estrada's finding out this round.
Good, nice, short body shot from Estrada right there. Counter right and left hook.
You saw him taking risks.
On a guy like Estrada. Done very good work in the middle of the ring.
His side may be tiring.
Sometimes that's when he's at his most...
Estrada has to be alert. How tired Sor Rungvisai look. That's just fighting a guy who has bricks in his glove like Sor Rungvisai. Estrada has to...
You mentioned Marco Antonio Morales fights. One guy landed, the other land back immediately. These two guys...
Rungvisai boxes like Barrera, but as his career has progressed, he's...
Agreements that you have to make with yourself from, is it worth it? What if you look cold? You gotta find and summon the strength and the wherewithal to get your need to put yourself in a position to win.
Well, Estrada apparently...
Okay, I like that.
Which often happens with a very skillful boxer. By the middle of the fight, he starts to...
Francisco Estrada wanted to trade with him in the middle of the round. So anyway, it's getting a little bit... Swiss against Sor Rungvisai.
I have it 5 rounds to 4, so I did exactly what you prescribed. Besides range to him, more aggressively applied.
Straight left hands to the body. Now goes back up. They're back into this situation where Estrada is in that... Like Swiss against Sor Rungvisai in the middle range, rather than the standard.
If you don't take risks.
Rounds serve to rally here in the last 30 seconds.
Sor Rungvisai is taking advantage.
Rungvisai's face is starting to show. He gets hit. His head is rattling a little bit more. Oh, big right hand.
Once again, within Sor Rungvisai's punching range, out for Swiss against Sor Rungvisai in the 10th round, giving him say, hey, did you see that giant left hook?
I mean, I thought Sor Rungvisai probably...
Yeah, it was a big shot, too. And Estrada has no choice at this point other than to try.
Second round, Jim, to kind of big for him and becoming the Sor Rungvisai.
Tonight, good shot and call yourself, tough.
Of toughness in boxing, because with the mental discipline, start winging it and start to the crowd, and that's real kind of fighter, Andre.
Well, those are the guys that you see last a long time in this sport.
Hard left hand by Sor Rungvisai.
Enough to come up with something dramatic here, because I have Sor Rungvisai on, and Harold has him with 7. Good right hand.
But that was set up from...
Okay, both your scorecard, Max,
Good
and
right
Harold's
hand.
scorecard are unofficial. As Sor Rungvisai goes back in. seeking to get 15 pounds. If either fighter has the edge, it would probably be Sai, who has been firing sledgehammer, standing in the middle of the ring throughout the fight. Has never stopped trying to counter, try to create opportunities over the back in the second half of the fight. Anything could happen. Francisco Estrada.
Work like this, Jim, as the guy in the lead because of his big power. Effective punches. This is a close fight.
Hard right hand by Estrada. Sor Rungvisai feels the need to answer back right away. Gets in a hard right hand and the left. Sor Rungvisai landing there. Estrada firing again with the right hand. Looking for one more big shot. Crowd rising.
Folks, we could see a 12th round knockout here because they are throwing bombs.
A minute and a half to go. Both fighters selling out in the center of the ring. Tremendous action. Crowd on its feet now, cheering for Estrada. Sor Rungvisai seems boggled by the clean shots he's been hit with here, but firing back himself.
I said Estrada would need something dramatic. This is pretty dramatic. Is it dramatic enough?
The only problem with that, Max, is Sor Rungvisai is hanging right there with him.
Yeah, well, he's hanging there and he's landing big bombs, but he's the worst for the wear this round.
I agree with that. Like we said in the beginning, neither fighter does a lot of talking in the beginning, before the fight, but when they get in the ring, they lay it all on the line, and both fighters are doing that here tonight.
Who's the best super flyweight in the world? 20 more seconds.
Best round 12 we've seen in a while on HBO's World Championship Boxing as Srisa gets Sor Rungvisai and Juan Francisco Estrada give everything they've got in the closing 3 minutes of this round. Unbelievable.
Estrada did a lot in that 12th, and he won it.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of super flyweight action, we go to the scorecards. A round of applause for both Juan Francisco Estrada and Srisa Sor Rungvisai. Dave Moretti scores at 114, 114 even. Kathy Leonard has it 115, 113. Steve Morrow scores it 117 to 111 to the winner by majority decision. And still, WBC Super Flyweight Champion of the World, Srisa